Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jazz from the Cones. I'm so excited I heard some wonderful news. I had my DNA tested through Ancestry.com. It came back I'm 85% Neanderthal with roots in New Jersey. It was so wonderful to hear that. My parents were so pleased. We have greatness with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He has worked with them all. He's worked with Charlie Mingus, Dan Getz, Jerry Mulligan, Johnny Hartman, Nancy Wilson. The list goes on. It's my pleasure to present my hero, Mr. Donn Trenner.
Hi, Harry.
Hey, buddy. What you playing?
I'm just playing.
You're noodling. Can you have your way with a Cole Porter tune?
There's your Cole Porter.
Wow, what a pleasure to hear that. Night and day, right?
Very good.
I want to ask you a question, and it's a question that I've never asked you before, and every time I've interviewed you, I thought about myself, why didn't he ask that? Why didn't he ask that? Here's the question. When you did the Bob Hope Christmas tours back in the 50s, do you remember the years exactly when you did
It's a little hard. I lose track. I've been around a few weeks now. I've never been this old before, so you have to excuse me. I think it was in the 50s, yes. Okay. What do you want to know about it? I can tell you a lot of stories about Bob Hope.
Oh, who paid for the trip? Were you working for
the networks,
USO?
The networks, or the sponsors of his show? Texaco one year.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
never knew that. It never dawned on me.
Yeah.
All right, now, more specific. See if you remember. How much did Donn Trenner get for those gigs back in the 50s?
I don't think that's really public information.
No, it happened such a
I was
long
paid
time
in
ago.
lira, Italian lira. It was good at an Italian restaurant. I really don't remember, Harry.
Okay, all right.
I was paid adequately, and I was very happy with whatever I got, but I spent it already.
You spent it on Christmas presents, if
I
memory
spent
serves.
it, I don't know.
Oh, you spent it already?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Tell us about those trips, and what was Joey Heatherton really like?
Well, I didn't know her very well. She did one trip, but she didn't do a trip that I was on.
Yeah.
She did a trip that preceded me.
Mm-hmm.
I did, Jane Mansfield was on one of the trips, and Anne Margaret, but not Joey Heatherton. She was a very nice lady. She was talented.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Too bad she only made that one trip. She only made one
I don't know that, Harry.
Yeah, okay. All right. You got to keep notes, Trenner. How am I going to ask you questions?
Well, then you got to send me the questions in advance.
I want to talk about the Hartford Jazz Orchestra.
Oh, great. I love to talk about that.
Every Monday, how many years have you been playing that gig on Monday nights?
Well, I'll give you a quick idea of what the Hartford Jazz Orchestra is.
Okay.
It's representative of a man who started it over 50 years ago. His name was Charles Cicchetti. He was musical director for Sergio Franchi. He played trombone in the Hartford Symphony Orchestra, and he was a pianist. I never heard him play piano. I did hear him play trombone. He wrote a library of big band arrangements that's second to none. He was a great arranger. So we have an orchestra that comes and plays every Monday night, and we do a few other dates also. But we play every Monday night at a place called the Arch Street Tavern in Hartford. The musicians do not get paid. They get a drink, I get dinner, but they're there for the opportunity each week to play these incredible musical arrangements that have been written for a big band. This is not a combo, it's a 17-piece orchestra. And we have a wonderful girl singer that comes in once a month, and also a young man that comes in the second week of the month.
Oh, who was that?
Nicole Pasternak
I
is
know,
the young
yeah.
lady, and Rob Zapula, who was with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra.
It's a huge book. There
Yes,
must
it
be
is.
200-300 charts in
I'm
there.
sure, yeah.
And you haven't gone through the entire
I've heard
book yet.
probably about 30 or 35% of it in 18 years.
Incredible.
The man was amazing.
Very
Truly
prolific.
he was a gem, a musical gem.
Did he arrange for other bands?
Probably, but I don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's worth the trip, folks. We're talking about the Arch Street Tavern. The Arch Street Tavern in Hartford, Connecticut, every Monday night, once a month, featuring
No, it's
Nicole
featuring yes,
Pasternak.
Nicole Pasternak.
And
She's there usually the first Monday of the month.
yeah.
And Rob Zapula
Okay.
is there the second Monday
Well,
of the
I'm going to
month.
make it a point to hear Rob.
I hope so.
On your recommendation, please grace us with another tune.
Okay?
Whatever you want to play.
Okay. And I'll tell you what it is after, okay?
That was the best lush life I ever heard in my the days of wine and roses.
Oh, very good.
You know, in the home of Jewish folks during, I forgot what holiday it is, that tune is played, but they call it the days of wine and roses.
Okay.
You know, you had to be there to really appreciate it. Let me ask you something, man.
All right.
What is your favorite venue, musical venue? Is it working with a big band? Is it working with a small group? Is it as a musical director? If you had your druthers, what would you most be doing?
All of those things,
All right.
actually, you know. It's really hard to differentiate because I love big orchestras. I work with them all the time. I love to, as an example, I went out last night to visit an orchestra in Connecticut, and they've asked me to come and rehearse the band because they come in once a week, as we do, but they never get a chance to rehearse. So they play all these charts, and they play them with some deficiencies, and they don't have a chance to honor and correct those deficiencies.
Yeah.
So they call a repairman.
You're the repairman?
I'm the repairman. No, but I love working with orchestras. I really do. I've done it all my life. And I love working with small groups, and I like doing solo things.
Yeah.
I particularly like accompanying. I love to play for good singers.
You have a reputation for being the best
I'm
accompanist,
hopeful that's true, because I
It's
really
true.
like doing that.
Yeah.
You know? I've worked with some really wonderful singers, and it's been a joyous part of my career.
You've put out so many projects since you moved to Guilford, Massachusetts. Are you working on
Guilford is in Connecticut.
Guilford, Connecticut. Are you working on a project now with anybody?
No, well, yes, very soon with Sylvia Mims. I already did a CD with her. She's a wonderful African-American singer that I worked with for 2 or 3 years, and we've already done a CD.
Right.
And she's doing another one, and I'm working on that with her.
Wonderful, wonderful. You're a busy guy. You want me to tell people how old you are?
I don't care.
112 years old.
Isn't that amazing?
90. He's 90 years old. He's got the vitality of a 20-year-old.
Well, maybe not 20, but I stay busy. I have a young daughter,
Yeah,
and I have to stay young for her. She just turned 25.
yeah.
She graduated as a music major from UConn last year. And,
Opera singer.
hopefully, you know what happens when you become an opera singer?
Tell me.
Hello, Daddy, can you send me some money?
Yeah, you get that a
It's
lot.
difficult. The world of music and show business is difficult. When you talk about how much money did you make, that's almost a second consideration. The first one is getting the job, you know,
Yeah.
because it's difficult. It's difficult to maintain a yearly, an annual salary in show business, you know. I don't work every week. Some weeks I play 3 or 4 nights. When I go out of town and travel a lot, which I don't like to do anymore, when I was with the artists that I worked with, that was different, but that was a lot of travel, a lot of international travel.
If a young man or a young woman comes up to you and says, I want to go into show business,
Yeah.
what do you tell them?
Don't sell the taxi cab.
Don't sell the taxi.
In other words, make sure you keep a day job.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
an old joke. Don't sell the taxi
All right.
cab.
Mr. Trenner,
Yes.
please, another tune.
Okay.
You played that, but not for me.
Very good, Harry.
Listen, you've been in the business now, would one safely say about 65 years? 65
I
years.
guess so, yeah, I guess so.
Is there any one composer whose work means more to you than anybody
There are
else?
several, yeah.
Tell me.
Michel Legrand.
Yeah.
He wrote all the music for a wonderful film, an old film called Umbrellas of Cherbourg,
Yeah.
you know, and he wrote some just really wonderful music.
There's one tune in there that runs as a motif. And what tune?
I
is
think
it?
it's called I Will Wait for You.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the one.
Really a beautiful one.
And
That's
mention
why.
some other composers whose work you most admire.
Well, there's a lot of them, you know. Cole Porter, of course, and Irving Berlin. I mean, there's lots of wonderful, wonderful songs.
Well, let me ask you this. As a jazz musician,
Okay.
what composer's music takes you to the farthest point of improvisation, has you exploring new areas? Is there any one composer who does that for you?
Well, there's a lot of current players. There are always current players, young players.
Yeah, but I'm talking about composers.
Well, Chick Corea, he's a wonderful pianist and he's a great composer,
Yeah.
you know. Charlie Parker was a great musician and a great composer,
Yeah.
you know. Oscar Peterson, the genius of Oscar Peterson.
Yeah.
Paul Desmond, also a great player, but a composer.
And you
know.
knew a lot of these guys, right?
I worked with most of them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there music in the background, Don? The Wanakura Restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. As you're leaving town on 140, as so many people do, it's on the left past the courthouse in a little plaza called the Wanakura. The Wanakura, you don't have to have raw fish. If you want raw fish, it's there. But if you want chicken teriyaki, if you want some hibachi ponzu, it's there too. The Wanakura, Route 140 in Milford. Tell Co I said hello. Thank you. Thank you. That was nice. So, 65 years in the business. That's incredible. What do you want to do, man?
Well, I'm working on growing up, and it's been very difficult for me, you know. But now I realize it's time for me to admit that I should be grown up. So I'm working hard on that. I'm trying to be a
You're
nice
trying to
grown
grow
up
up now at the age of 90. Yeah, well, I hope you never grow up, man. May you always be as youthful and as crazy as you are.
Oh, thank you. I think it probably would be wise to mention my book.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell people the name of it and
The
how
name of
it's
the,
going.
Well, the book came out about 1.5 years ago. A professor from Dartmouth talked me into writing the book. It's a book of memoir, and it's a lot about my career and about a lot of people that most of you will know. It's about many, many famous people in show business. The book is called Leave It to Me, My Life in Music. It's available on Amazon, and it comes both as a paperback and a hardbound. I suggest getting the hardbound because the paperbacks just curl up after a while, you know. But it's a fun book and a lot of stories, and people seem to enjoy it. I've never been an author before, but you know, it's a new phase of my life.
Tell us about the Rolodex, the next book that's coming out.
Oh, well, I still have a unit at home called a Rolodex. That's for those that might not know what it is. It's a way to keep phone numbers, addresses, all pertinent information about people on a thing that turns, and their business cards are in there. And so recently, my assistant was looking at the Rolodex, and we found a lot of really famous names in there. I mean, more than I could even remember, people that I've worked with. And she said, that should be the name of your new book, your next book, Donn's Rolodex.
Yes. That has the makings
Yeah,
of
I
a
worked with a
bestseller.
lot of people. I can mention a few of them now. I've had, in fact, on my birthday in March, I got a phone call from somebody that sang happy birthday. And it was a lady, and I couldn't really identify her. And she said, happy birthday, Donn, I love you, it's Shirley. Now, I thought it might have been Shirley MacLaine, but I wasn't sure until 2 weeks ago. It was Shirley's birthday, and I called her.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, did you get my song that I sang? And then I knew it was her.
It was Shirley
Yeah.
MacLaine.
So I worked with her. In fact, Cy Coleman and I wrote her nightclub act, and we were both nominated for an Emmy for it,
Yeah.
so, which was nice.
What year was that, do you think? Do you remember?
Oh, boy, I just wish you wouldn't ask that, because I can't remember. It's in the book. That's why Tim Atherton, the co-author, did all the chronological research,
Yeah.
because I can't remember what the years were. Probably in the 70s,
Yeah.
you know.
Is
70s,
the
and,
book, in what printing is the book at this point? Is it
well,
the
it's in this first printing.
first
yeah,
printing?
yeah.
Any
Yeah.
idea
Oh, it's
how
not
many
going to
you've
be.
sold?
It's not going to be a bestseller, but it's fun. you
It's
know?
more than fun. It is a very informative,
you.
insightful
Thank
look
you.
into your life.
Yeah, but I don't know about first and second printings. I'll let you know. I'll call you as soon as I know.
Okay, do that. Do that. Another tune, please. Something of your choosing. I know that song like the back of my hand, but I'll
Word.
be damned if I can remember the name
That's
of
because
it.
you didn't write it on the back of your hand. It's called East of the Sun.
East of the Sun. Okay. Okay. It's such a release hearing what the actual name is. Everybody, I want to thank you very much for tuning us in tonight. Hopefully we'll have a show with Paul Broadnax and Peter Contreras and some other stars as well.
You know who's in the audience tonight?
I know who's in the audience tonight.
Mr.
Dave.
Tom Mulcahy.
Tom Mulcahy, the band leader, band
He's the
manager.
manager of the Hartford Jazz
Band manager
Orchestra.
of the
yeah.
Hartford Jazz Orchestra. Hi, Tom. Glad you came down. And Dave Lowell is here as well. Dave Lowell, the land baron of Mendon. Jimmy Calories, photographer extraordinaire, is here. It's a big celebration here at Jazz at the Combs. Thank you, Dee.
Well, look, you have songs written on the back of your hand.
I have what? See you soon, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.